When I was 9 years old, I'm 60 now, but when I was 9 years old, I got this book of poetry for Christmas. Um, Seems like an unusual gift to give a 9-year-old boy. Me and my brothers all got one, um, all autographed by my dad. And it didn't seem unusual to us. Not if you knew our dad. Our dad was a small town country lawyer, former paratrooper, um, really a Renaissance man. And he used to read us poems from this book of poetry, one of his favorite books. And one of our favorite poems was a poem called Home. And this poem gives meaning to life, and I share this poem with people who have gone through tragedy, because this poem is a way of understanding tragedy and how tragedy sanctifies your life and creates a home. I'm going to read it to you, but not using quite the southern drawl that the author writes with, but you'll get the meaning of it. But I do hope that you'll read the poem. Home by Edgar Guest, 1959. It takes a heap of living in a house to make it a home. It takes a heap of sun and shadow when you sometimes have to roam before you really appreciate the things you left behind and hunger for them somehow, with them always on your mind. It doesn't make any difference how rich you get to be, how much your chairs and tables cost, how great your luxury. It's not home, though it be the palace of a king, until somehow your soul is sort of wrapped around everything. Home ain't a place that gold can buy or get up in a minute. Before it's a home, there's got to be a heap of living in it. Within the walls, there's got to be some babies born, and then, right there, you've got to bring them up to be good women and good men. And gradually, as time goes on, you find you wouldn't part with anything they've ever used. They've grown into your heart. The old high chairs, the playthings too, the little shoes they wore, you hoard, and if you could, you'd keep the thumb marks on the door. You've got to sit and weep and make it a home. You've got to sit and sigh and watch beside a loved one's bed and know that death is nigh. And in the stillness of the night to see death's angel come and close the eyes of her that smiled and leave her sweet voice dumb. For these are scenes that grip the heart, and when your tears are dried, you find the home is dearer than it was and somehow sanctified. And tugging at you always are the pleasant memories of her that was and is no more. You can't escape from these. You've got to sing and dance for years. You've got to romp and play and learn to love the things you have by using them each day. Even the roses around the porch must blossom year by year before they come a part of you, suggesting someone dear who used to love them long ago and trained them just to run the way they do so they get the early morning sun. You've got to love each brick and stone from cellar up to dome. It takes a heap of living in a house to make it a home. And that's true of life. It takes a heap of living to make a wonderful life. If you know about this author, when he talks about someone near to him that died, he was writing about the death of his daughter. So somehow he took that tragedy and turned it into something beautiful. He saw life as something beautiful, that it sanctified his life. So anytime something unfortunate happens in your life, and it will, remember this poem. It takes a heap of living to make a home a home.